We're coming through the freeway in Rio de Janeiro, and there's a spot that is so dangerous, the government has built a wall. And that's the favela, the Complex de Maria. The problem is, go ahead, say it.
Complexo do
Alemão. And it's so dangerous on the other side of this wall, the government has to build a wall to protect those who are driving through. The favela is a somewhat autonomous area or neighborhood of people who live in poorer parts of Brazil. And it's a bit of a legend to Americans because there's a history of freedom and people being allowed to do whatever they want and live in the way that they see fit and to run their own neighborhood and not have to pay taxes. And so I think there's always been a fascination about the favela, but I'm not allowed to go there. Nobody lets me go into the favela. They tell me it's too unsafe, but man, I sure would like to. I feel like the favela is where the life is. It's where the excitement is. It's where the great food must be, the culture is. I want to go into it. It may be the poorer neighborhood, but sometimes there's so much more culture in a neighborhood that doesn't have as much money. I'm James Disciple Johnson, founder of Disciple Christian Motorcycle Club. I get to ride around the world with people and talk about Jesus. Today, I'm in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, to talk about a place that I'd love to go, the favela. I want to learn more about it. Come with me today on this exciting adventure in the streets of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. In the favelas of Brazil, they have their own way of handling things. They don't pay tax, they don't pay for electricity, they don't pay for fire service or police, but they do have electricity. They do have their own services, just not like we would use. Even from a distance, the favela is visually different from other architecture. The blue water containers, the bricks, just so different than other neighborhoods. And you can see the need for security all around it with these heavy armed vehicles. It's just different than every other place you'll go in Brazil. In Rio de Janeiro, the favela quickly melts into the city. And you have side by side the city where you can do business, where people live, and on the hillside behind it, the favela, the place where nobody's allowed to go. And there are the people that work in the city. They come down to work in the city, they return at night to live in the favela. There are many places in Rio de Janeiro that are very old, sitting next to places that are very new. It's a mixture of cultures and ages in this city. Much of the architecture in Rio de Janeiro is from the 17 and 1800s. And this is one of those areas where you can see that architecture right downtown. And of course, right behind it, skyscrapers where they had space to build. I got to enter the Morro da Concepcion, which is a favela that is beautiful and tourist-oriented. I'm here in the favela in Brazil. And I want to remind you that God did not give you a spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind. So where does fear come from? The Bible gives us that clue. It's a spirit, and you can fight back against that spirit. Join us Friday the 13th of January to figure out how at GS WarCon. We're walking through the favela. It's a very steep hill right in the middle of downtown Rio de Janeiro. Absolutely beautiful in here. And there's apartments for rent, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 kitchen, $150 a month. You might wonder how driving in Rio de Janeiro works. Well, there are no lanes. There are motorcycles cutting between everything and everyone at all times. And you just go as fast as you can. Fast, right, Hush?
Yes, let's go.
So the Polícia Militar are the people that are responsible for keeping the favela safe. if anybody needs to go into the favela from the police, it's going to be the military police. This is the favela. We cannot turn right into the favela because it would be completely unsafe to do so, and we're not allowed. They would actually stop us and ask us what we're doing in here. That's as close as we can come. So this is the favela of Brazil. That is the most dangerous.
Take a good hard look at how these people live, how they're making it. Don't you ever complain about how tough you have it. This is a hard life. It's an unsafe area. They don't have the benefits that you might have. Stop and think about it. A lot of the world doesn't. It's important for us who travel to bring back this message of how good we have it compared to so many other places in the world, and how much we should work for the betterment of our fellow human beings, to do and give what we can.
I give you now a little tour from my hotel window. This is not a favela, it's a nice neighborhood. Very nice, people live there. This is the Dutra. It is a road named after the president, Rodrigo Dutra. And it's a very nice neighborhood here. This is a nice area. You see a whole lot of this right here in Brazil. Two guys riding on the bike together, getting somewhere important. And a lot of this also, there's always the ambulances with their lights on. The lights are always on every ambulance and police car in Brazil for awareness, I suppose. And it's a very nice area here in Rio de Janeiro. That's right, it's not Rio de Janeiro, it's Rio de Janeiro. The R is always an H. Rio de Janeiro could definitely be called a city of hills. And one of the hills that I would love to go to is where you see that blue spot that is a monastery on the hill. Unfortunately, it's surrounded by very dangerous favelas, so I'm not allowed to go there. But he said if we come with 3 prospects and Hodge, and there's 5 of us, then we could take shippers up on that hill to the monastery.
One of my favorite parts of Rio de Janeiro was the Monastery San Bento, which I'm in right now. It is a beautiful old structure just dedicated to God. Such an incredible building, such incredible culture here in Brazil. I certainly encourage you to come and check it out one day. Also, please, on January 13th, 2023, join me to purchase this book, The 4 Legs, The 4 Pillars of Christian Development. We'd love for you to pick up this book and grow in your depth and spirituality. God bless you. Thanks for watching. I'm James Disciple Johnson, your favorite missionary. God bless you.